Hello again, everybody. I'm Scott Kinberg, the sports editor at the Post-Journal. Welcome to another edition of All in a Week Sports. I'm joined by my colleague Cody Crandall, and we got a couple of Red Raiders with us, Coach Tom Langworthy and All-State lineman Jeremy Bush, and we're glad to have you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
Tom, as I was doing a little homework this afternoon, I came across an article that you and I and your siblings collaborated on for Father's Day in tribute to your dad.
Yep.
And one of the quotes that I found interesting was that you told me that sports mirror life, and there are highs and lows, and your dad wants us to enjoy the highs, but also come back from the lows. And I guess in a microcosm, that's kind of the way your season has gone, as evidenced by, some tough losses, couple close losses, and then 52-point win. You talk about bouncing back for some lows. Can you just talk about how you guys were able to do that? Quite remarkable.
Yeah, I was really proud of the way we played on Friday night. We never really considered ourselves an 0-5 team. We talked about that a lot throughout that stretch. That we were really getting close there. We'd have a play here, play there that would hurt us. And three of our losses were, very close games. So for us to prove that, we had it in us on Friday says a lot about our young men that we're coaching. You don't win by 52 if you're not a talented team and you're not a good football team. And you don't win by 52 points with a shutout if kids give up. So it proved that we didn't give up. We continued to work hard throughout the season, and we just kept our heads up. I was really proud of our players. Every Monday we show up with a good attitude. They always bounce back, and they never quit. And if anyone ever doubted that, the 52-0 would prove that our kids are in it to win it.
Jeremy, what has been the reason that you guys were able, like Coach said, have these close losses, and then a couple that, you play and you had probably the three toughest games you could possibly have to start your year. What has been the reason for you guys to, even though you've been disappointed by maybe your record, but for you guys to bounce back like you did?
I think we just, over the weeks in practice, we've just started to notice the small mistakes we were making in the games, in those critical times, and then we started to work them out, and then we're finally starting to see how great we can be.
Coach, this week, you're in the sectional playoffs by virtue of that win. This week, can you give me a little scouting report on Niagara Wheatfield?
Yeah, Niagara Wheatfield is a team that's similar to us. They've lost a number of games very close, one-score games. They just recently got their first win on Saturday and they put over 50 points up on the board against Lockport. So we're both very similar, and I think that Niagara Wheatfield's a good football team. They have a number of athletes that make plays for them. They have a little scat back who's tough, quarterback's fast. They run a lot of play-action pass. They hit the deep ball off of that. And I don't think they punted the entire game on Saturday. So they drove up and down the field running the football, have some misdirection, and defensively they play pretty sound defense. So we have our work cut out for us, but I think this is a perfect time of year to play a team that's also on the rise like Wheatfield is, and this is a great test to make sure that we continue with the momentum that we earned on Friday night.
On Friday, I was at another game. We had to reshuffle our lineup, so to speak. So I was getting text updates. So it was 3-0. Then I think it was 9-0. Then it was 27-0. And then it just ballooned from there. What was you can chime in too, Jeremy. What was the catalyst for that, going from a 3-0 game after, I think, the first quarter to being, turn out to be a blowout?
Go ahead.
I think that we got our quarterback back, and then we started to see how our pass game could look, and then we started to capitalize on that. And also we made some changes on defense, and that you could start to see that because we shut them out. And that was the first time we've held a team to that low of a score this season.
And Tom, you had contributions from so many. I mean, and some guys who maybe had seen play opportunity on special teams. But but they hadn't had an opportunity for various reasons to show what they can do on offense or defense, and you scored in every way possible.
Yeah, our defense stepped up, had a few turnovers that went back for touchdowns. I think with about 4 minutes left in the first half, it was only 9-0, and we had to punt. They had bobbled the punt. We recovered it and then punched it in, and then got another score right before halftime. And in that, we also had a 2-point conversion. So we got it from 9-0 with about 4 minutes left in the half to 24-0 at half, and our goal in the third quarter was to score 2 more touchdowns, which we did both defensively. So it was just really a great win, and with the points piling up like that, football's a game of momentum. So it was great for that we seized the opportunity and took advantage of it, and really closed out the game. Our starters on offense left the game right at the very beginning of the fourth quarter. We punched the last one in, which we want to finish that drive, and everyone got to play. So I think it's important. One of our goals every game is that every person plays, and sometimes that works out and sometimes it doesn't. But when it does, it's special. It's a big morale builder, and it's just great to see all of our players get what they work for, which is playing in a game.
And with the emergence of guys like Fran Rodriguez, Tariq Strudwick, the return of Matt Hill, like Jeremy mentioned, how much do you like the complexion of your offense going forward here?
I really like it. Yeah, I mean, if there's a silver lining with the Matt injury is that we knew we'd have a difficult time stretching the field with the pass game, so we tried to stretch it with the run game, going sideline to sideline. I mean, Fran is one of the fastest 100 runners in Western New York as a sophomore. He's in the top 5 right now, right in the 100. So we've always known Fran's speed. This is only his second year playing football. Last year was his first year playing on freshman. So we were running some of our speed sweep with Fran and trying to complement that with our run up inside, and we had Devin Jackson doing that along with Tariq Strudwick. Now with Matt back, we're getting into some things that we were in a couple years ago, where we had guys like Zach Kinsey and Daquan Hollingsworth run that speed sweep, and we'd run it and we'd run the ball counter play off of it, and then we'd also have the pass off of it. So it puts a lot of stress on the defense, and it's something that we've done before, so we know it well. We know what to look for, and it's just funny how things evolve, but probably if Matt didn't get hurt, we wouldn't really be into that offense right now. But it's really worked out.
Jeremy, you and Devin are the 2 remaining players from the 2014 state championship. Can you just talk to me about how you guys have tried to rally the guys, the rest of your teammates, as you've experienced the highs and lows of a football season, because you are the most experienced of the team?
I think me and Devin, our presence is known in the locker room because it does get wild in there, and we're always there to keep them together. And then off the field as well, like when we're in a low in a game, we try to bring them up, and when we're at a high of a game, we have to keep them together and just keep moving forward in the game.
When you came in the building here at the Chautauqua Sports Hall of Fame, we kind of went over and looked at some pictures, both old and new. When you walked into the other room, and the state championship from 2014 is there on the wall, and there you are in the back row. What do you remember about that time and that season? Because there's not too many sophomores that can say they played on a state title team. So if you could take a snapshot of that season, what do you remember the most?
Has to be the state game. It has to be the camaraderie of all the players and the senior leadership and everybody stepping up and doing their job. It was a great group.
Yeah. Coach, what is your snapshot moment?
Oh yeah, I'd be at the Dome, But so many of the great personalities we had on that team. We had a little bit of everything. I always try to call it a perfect storm. We had talent on the line of scrimmage. Jeremy stepped up and started all year on the offensive line as a young guy at the time. We also had Zach Kinsey and Devin Jackson run the ball for us a lot, and then our receiving core. And then, Nick Collin taking over the reins for Jake at quarterback. So, and then we had so much, we were had such an attacking style on defense with Damian Jackson and Kevin Mosley and Nate Vasquez and Jason Blake, and it was just Liuzzo, and those guys were just animals. They loved football, and nobody was in it for anything but the team, and that's really what was special, because no one knew their stats, no one cared, no one asked. It was all about playing and competing, and it was just a great something I'll never forget. So it's something that's really special to me.
Well, I still remember the smile on your face as you walked off the field.
Yeah, it was a special night.
Well, it's been a special time with you guys. I appreciate you being with us,
Yeah,
and
thanks
good luck
for having
on Saturday afternoon.
All right, thanks, Scott.
All right,
thank you.
thanks.